And a flag here that's not tattered. I love seeing that. Downtown Malden. So one of the things that I have really struggled with, even with all the personal development growth work that I do, and some of the things that I teach online, and the people that I meet, both my mentors and my mentees, one of the hardest things for me is to be vulnerable. And I know in Louis Ho's book, he talks about the invincibility mask. I see that mask come to play a lot in my life still. Doesn't mean I'm not vulnerable at all. And it actually, I'm not saying this as a disregard to all of the work that I've been putting into myself, but I'm saying this more as an accountability for myself, is that there's room for me to open up more and be more human at times, because when I get into my head, I generally tend to not do that. So I have to bring myself back into my body, and that's when the real me starts to show up. So one of the mentors I have, Steffo Shambo, he really hammered that fact into me this morning in one of my check-in sessions with him. And it's okay. We're all learning, and this entire life is a learning process. One of my neighbors waving at me, and I'm open to that. I'm open to being more vulnerable and speaking my truth. Kind of a view of my neighborhood as I walk around here on my daily walk. I've been walking a lot after this pandemic season, and it's no secret that the way we are living has changed. And what I showed you earlier in this video there that's co-housing space that's being created near my neighborhood. This is Malden, Mass, and this is like a new trend that's happening around the country, where houses or apartments, so what's happening in the country, around the country, is apartments are getting smaller and the shared spaces are getting bigger, and that's what that co-housing is. And this is going to be the norm in urban America very soon. It's almost European apartments that are smaller. One of the things that I noticed about vulnerability is when I feel that my well-being would be threatened by being vulnerable, and it's just mostly an unrealistic fear. That's when the invincibility mask kind of automatically shows up. Feeling the need to prove myself is one of the characters of this mask. So that's the other side of the entrance. That's the bike rack with the shade, and there's a parking lot here for commuters to park their car. And as I was talking about growth, if you can guess right now, this house, or if we're talking about growth, and from what we have seen walking around this city, places like this one where the convenience store is, and where it kind of looks tattered from the outside, probably isn't been maintained the best. As soon as the lease expires, I think this building will expire as well. And as I was saying, it looks very inconsistent with everything we've seen so far, and for good or for worse, you know, spaces like this will fade away, and that's part of growth. Is, you know, is for things that are not evolving with the time will have to perish. Again, Empire Beauty School is another vocational training school here. You can actually come in here and get your hair cut for really cheap, like dirt cheap. I have never been here, but maybe I will grow some hair just to experience this spot here. And then there is another salon here, which makes it very convenient for your hair care needs. And that space right there, co-housing space that we talked about. So we're kind of in the back side of Fellsmere Park, and there's another park here, I forget the name of it, but there's tennis courts and a soccer field for people to go out and have recreational time. And on the other side is a cemetery. Again, a little plug. And then there is Malden Family Health Center up the hill in that direction. Yep, thanks to all the essential workers. One of the things that I love about Malden is how the topography gets really rocky, and there's like gigantic rocks in places you wouldn't really expect them to be, just rising up. There's one on that side, and behind these trees there's another one. So here we are, Fellsmere Park. Lots of ducks in this park here, and there's a social distancing celebration going on over there, which looks kind of colorful and nice. Hey there, big guy, shying away from me. Lots of duck and lots of poop here near the pond. Hey guys, Coach KP here. And one of the things that I want to talk to you about today is, hey guys, this is Coach KP here. Today I'm going to be walking around my city, Malden, Massachusetts. I'll give you a little tour of downtown Malden and how it's been changing. And I will also talk about some of the things that I've been feeling lately, and you know, talk about change and growth in general. This is Fellsmere Pond. It's a really nice pond, not too far from my house, not even 5 minutes. So I feel privileged to have been able to spend time in this nice park here over the pandemic period. I used to come to this park, you know, relatively frequently, but I have been doing that a lot lately, and that's because it's given me a new appreciation of what spaces near home feel like. So my hope from this point on is to realize when I feel, and it's mostly fear is unfounded. Most of our fear is unfounded. So when I'm feeling this unfounded fear and a need to protect my status, or whatever that means, I am going to be more cognizant of how my body is reacting, what is happening as I am talking to people or experiencing that moment, what is actually coming up, and I will try to face that and still remain open. That's my lesson for today. Okay, yeah, hopefully you had a good walk around my city. I hope the footage wasn't super bouncy. This is the Lumix G9 camera, which has a 5-axis stability built in, along with the lens, so it shouldn't be that bad, even though I didn't bring my gimbal. I know it's not super fun to carry your gimbal around all the time. That's the reason I got this camera. This is the first time I'm doing this, so I will know soon if the footage is going to be worth it, and if it is, I will try to use this method of filming more and more going forward. All right, this is Coach KP. Focus on your growth, guys. That's all life is about. Peace and love.